We go between the gap on the buildings on the left. If you've got your cameras, lovely view there, look, of Southwark Cathedral. Dates back to the 14th century. Then moored in a dockway, this is especially for the children, for the boys and the girls, a real pirate ship. Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind. Now, Drake sailed an identical ship to this one around the world. It took him 3 years of a crew of 80 men. The ship, you can see, it's not a model, it's a real ship. Tracing the voyage of Drake, it's now a museum, the Golden Hind. The trains, they come from the south here into the station there on the right, Cannon Street Railway Station. Look underneath the bridge on the right, can you all see the glass box? That is a relaxation spa and sauna. And you tend to see a few semi-naked people strolling around in that box over there. Now, they thought they was being clever, putting it under the bridge, thinking no one would see in. But they obviously forgot about these boats that go by every 5 minutes. Some days are better than others, I must say. Seeing some terrible sights over there. Now, there's not really a great deal of commercial trade left on the river, which is a real shame, because years ago, this was one of the busiest ports in the world. The only real container work you see up here today are these ones on the right, and they are rubbish containers, filled up with rubbish and then towed away. They go down the river to a place called Belvedere, where it's all incinerated. Southwark Bridge is a very quiet bridge. When you look up there, you don't see many people. You don't see many cars. And this is due to the bad planning of the approach roads. The main approach roads are hidden so well in the back streets of London, it's really only the professional drivers and local people that use it. They do say if you find yourself on that bridge at any time in the day, you are more than likely lost or drunk. So try and avoid it. Just have a look. I know it's Sunday, but look, you just see a van, a professional driver, someone who knows where he's going. Now we go to the left and we have the Globe Theatre of William Shakespeare. The only building in London to be allowed a thatched roof since the Great Fire of London. Now during the summer months, May to September, go inside the building, watch a Shakespearean play. Plays are done in the traditional way. There's no microphones or stage lighting. It's all done as it would have been done years ago. Just next door, you've got the International Shakespeare Centre. That is a lovely restaurant and an exhibition about William Shakespeare. Have you all heard of William Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite famous. He used to work over there. The Millennium Bridge. Now, I'm sure you all know about this bridge. It was opened up on a Saturday morning by the Queen. It was then closed the same afternoon by the police. So many people crossed the bridge, it started to swing and sway. People were hanging on for dear life as they crossed. So they had to close it, re-strengthen it and rename it the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. It did swing and sway on the opening day. It was very bad. We go to our right and there you'll see the dome and the Golden Cross, St Paul's Cathedral, the masterpiece of Sir Christopher Wren. It took 35 years to build at the cost of £750,000. Look above the dome, you can see a viewing platform. You do obtain a great view of London from the very top. Go down into the crypt, you'll find the tombs there of Admiral Lord Nelson, the Duke of Wellington, the architect himself, Sir Christopher Wren. Now, in my opinion, that is probably the finest building anywhere in London. And you really have to go inside St Paul's to see the pure detail of it. Climb up the dome, you've got the Whispering Gallery, then you go right to the top where you'll find the Golden Gallery. And to me that makes a really nice afternoon out. Go and have a walk round St Paul's if you've got a spare couple of hours. The bridge in front of us is a railway, the Blackfriars Railway. They're putting a new railway station in on the right. They're also extending the bridge and strengthening the bridge. The trains have originally only come from the south. They are now coming from the north as well. And this is known as the Thameslink. Some of you may have seen advertisements. You can get a train from Birmingham into Blackfriars once this is all completed. The Thameslink, they're going to call it. So you can see that they're strengthening up the columns and they're going to extend onto the columns here. See the workmen, or hear the workmen on the left. The last one out of the group is a road bridge. It's called Blackfriars and it was opened in 1869. The Blackfriars Road Bridge, this one. Now this marks the halfway point up to Westminster. How are we all doing? Is everybody having a nice time?
Yeah.
Yes? Do you want me to continue or? You do? You sure?
Yeah.
Am I doing alright? Good, I only started yesterday. I'm doing alright, hopefully. They said it was pick it up pretty quick. Now on the right there you can see a building. It's got a green sloping roof. The old City of London School. Many of our past members of Parliament, they attended this school before they moved on to places like Oxford or Cambridge. Then we've got a red building, looks like a church, Zion College, a school and a study for the clergy here in London. Now I know we got the cranes in the way, but if you look behind the boat on the right, as we get a little further on, look back on the right, the crane does come out of view and you get a decent photograph there of St Paul's Cathedral. Now we go to our left and there's a red building. It's got a glass canopy and a tower, and that is Stanford Wharf. Now for many years that building on our left was a cold storage meat warehouse converted into flats. See the glass canopy up there? That is Harvey Nichols. That is said to be one of the top 10 restaurants in London. Look above the restaurant, we have the Oxo Tower. That is where they used to make the famous gravy Oxo. Personally, I prefer Bisto, but there we go. I think Oxo's a bit runny. I don't really like it that much. Not a lot of people realise this, but we do have some lovely beaches. Look on the left, look, a tropical, golden sandy beach. Wow. Who would have thought that? Look, in the middle of the City of London, a lovely beach. Who needs the coast when you've got a beach like that? Look, very, very busy. The tall office building and the low-lying glass face buildings, they go together to make Kent House, the headquarters and riverside studios of London Weekend Television. It's where you get your morning chat shows, your evening news. It comes live out of this building on our left. Now the tide at the moment is rising. This is a flood tide, so the tide will rise up to about 6.5, 7 metres this afternoon. High water is at 6:45 tonight. So low water was at 2 o'clock, and the tide has started rising. It's already come up 3 metres since low tide. You can see the tide gauge. It will go as high as